Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 13 carries, 51 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently. Maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now it's Breida. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A first carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Slant route, caught by Edelman. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know the securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Malcolm Smith, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. That's something this coaching staff told us they want to see a lot more of this season.
I imagine the entire time in the offseason when these guys were taking breaks from watching film, when they were out running and doing all the other things, all they were thinking about is, how do we create more sacks? They loved what they just saw there.
Because they were near the bottom of the league in 2017. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
21.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early. because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would like to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here we go now.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline as a play caller. You're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Garoppolo, the first catch of the game for George Kittle, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
65.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And able to follow his center and pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They run with Breida. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Breida. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with a field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts? Come on. What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
This is Breida. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into right protection scheme.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to pace things out.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
To throw is Garoppolo. He's got him in, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one, and now it's blocked. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking
through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Rosen to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Malcolm Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Man open left side. It's Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And Dawson's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Garoppolo on 1st down. From left side, caught by Goodwin. The 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're numbs and pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
There goes Larry Fitzgerald. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
That could not have been timed out any better, and that's exactly what receivers want. The ball in their hands as quick as possible allows them to catch it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throw left side complete. That's Goodwin. There he goes left side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. First down carry here for Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of script.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Malcolm Smith in there to get it for sack number 9 now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw is Rosen. He's going to look deep for Edelman. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play on third down for the Cardinals. 47 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And Gresham has it left side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They go play action. It's Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go now.
On first down, it's Rosen. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon. And they blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there for the Niners. 52 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to...
And a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now they try the right side here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
David Johnson on his way. The 40. Past the 20. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him a gain of 37.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Go ahead. 13.
Toss play to McKinnon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put a big...
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hurry up, here we go.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he's going to go down again. Malcolm Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They run again with Breida. Oh, he shifts past him. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the 49ers continue to roll. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Glennon. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Malcolm Smith in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it.
Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Glennon. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Space to maneuver at the 40. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go. Like 20. Go ahead.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now McKinnon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
Go ahead.
Here again is McKinnon. And down inside the 15 he goes. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done. Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing. And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage? That's changed. But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain. They'll toss it to Breida. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain. What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz? The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down. They run for it with Breida. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So give him the first down. First and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off. They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second and goal from the 1. They get it to him running left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
On third down, Johnson. Pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a first down.
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
A gain of 39 that time.
And they just hit another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out,
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the fifth tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Dawson tacks on the point after as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. There's Garoppolo to throw. He's going to air one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for the Niners. 54 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now,
and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. That's how the Charles. You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's a toss coming right. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Gets past one man. A beautiful spin and room to run. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defense